Hi, I'm Jeff. People call me Jeff. And I wanted to announce that I am embarking on a new project. And it's a project that I want to include you on. And that is, I'm going to be working on a one-person show using the Michael Chekhov technique for acting. And my hope is that you can see this technique in action, and you can see how one uses this technique, and it might answer a lot of questions for you. It might raise a lot of questions for you, and I want to create a dialogue where you can talk with me about it, and I can talk with you about it, and maybe we can build this whole thing into one big, large community. And here's the project. I decided to do a one-person comedy of errors. And I know that that sounds crazy, and to many of you, you're like, that's one show I don't want to see this summer. But I think it might be a lot of fun. And I think it could be really, really funny. And I think because it already deals with the themes of identity and mistaken identity, that using it as a one-person show could be really interesting and really, really fun. And it's something that I love. I love Shakespeare. I came up with this idea because I was reading Comedy of Errors for fun, which is something that I do. I read Shakespeare for fun. And it's not embarrassing, Jeff. It's not embarrassing. But I was reading it and I was like, boy, this might be a really interesting project to embark on. Here's what I've done to begin with. This is not necessarily the beginning of the project. I've actually been starting to memorize this. And thank you, Caitlin, and thank you, Josh, for giving me the courage to make this into a vlog and something that I can share with others. I have been memorizing this for several weeks, and I'm only up to Act 2. All right, so it takes me a long time to memorize, and especially when you're trying to memorize Shakespeare, it's a very, very long and tedious process. But I'm working through it, and I'm working every day to memorize. I mean, I work on it for maybe about 2 hours a day, trying to memorize this entire script, and I'm trying to memorize an entire Shakespeare script. And I'm also working on the characters as I'm going, and I really want to include you on the process. I've cut it down because I want this to be a max of 90 minutes. I don't want this to be longer. This play, uncut, runs around 2 hours and 15 minutes, so I've cut maybe about 45 minutes off of it, I think. I'm continuing to cut as I'm memorizing. I'm looking at it and go, man, do I really want to memorize this? Is it really necessary to the story? Is the audience going to get it? Is the audience going to get it because it's Shakespeare comedy, which some of it is very dated, obviously? Or is the audience going to get it because I'm all by myself and you need two people for the joke to really land? So cutting as I'm memorizing it too. So hopefully I can get it down into something that the audience can understand. That's really key, especially in Shakespeare, is that the audience needs to understand what is going on. Is the story clear? You know, you really want to make sure that the story you're telling as a director, because I'm also directing this in essence, that the story you are telling is also clear to the audience. So I have no idea whether this is going to work. I'm just going to lay it out. I have no idea whether this will be a viable piece of theater for anyone, but I'm hoping to have a lot of fun doing it. I'm hoping that it can educate you, and I'm hoping that it will educate me. So as we continue through this process, if you have any comments, if you have, like Jeff, you're crazy, feel free to put them in the comments below. If you have any questions about the process, I'm going to be working a lot with the Michael Chekhov technique in this process. I'm going to be starting with Imaginary Body, and I'm going to share that part of the process with you in the coming videos. Obviously, I'm going to be working on atmosphere because it's so important. Psychological gesture, the whole thing. I'm going to try to use the entire chart for inspired acting to really make this work. and to really create this piece of theater. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to go to my Facebook page. Just look up Michigan Michael Chekhov classes, and it should come up somewhere. Or you can go to my website, which is Michigan Chekhov. That's CHE. I'm just gonna put it below, right around this area. I'm gonna put it right here. But it's www.michiganchekhov.com, and feel free to just keep in touch. If you really like this video, or you want to see more, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll be talking to you really, really soon. Let's have some fun.